So I'm going to show you guys how to cover up dark circles and also color correcting your dark circles. So this is how mine really looks like. This is not anything else. I'll show it up close if it doesn't show it too bright. But yes, it's dark around here. I mean, I have foundation around here, but it does go around all this kind of area and then the inner corner as well. But when I apply eyeshadow, I usually cover that up with the primer that I normally use, which is MAC Soft Ochre, and it just covers it up. It just blends in with my whole foundation. So I'm going to show you guys how to color correct. If you're my skin complexion, then you want to use a color corrector that is like more of a peachy tone or a salmon color. So I usually use the Erase Paste by Benefit. Actually, I just picked this up about 2 weeks ago, and honestly guys, this is my favorite under eye corrector. I was using the Ben Nye orange concealer and with the orange corrector, and this one is an orange, a burnt orange, excuse me, it's burnt orange, and I'll show you guys. This is normally great for skin tones that are ebony shades or a lot more darker, where you're more of brown tones and darker than that. I know you're wondering why I was using the orange concealer. Well, the thing is that I have really dark circles. So as you can see here, it's pretty dark and is on the purple shade, but I use this to correct it. I don't apply too much because the problem is when you use an orange concealer and you're really light skinned, then what happens is that the orange concealer peeks through the concealer. So you have to really cover it up really well. Or you can mix shades. You can take this and mix it with a liquid concealer or cream. I prefer cream better to mix it and make it into more of a salmon shade. So if you're not sure, like if your circles are that dark or that light, then you can just mix this with a different concealer that you normally use and make it into a shade, because either way it's gonna go from orange to pink later on if you just mix it really well. So that's why I was using this. I mean, it did work for me, but I prefer more of a salmon pinkish tone concealer. I'm gonna put my hair up because it's pretty hot out here, so it's really hot in the room and I don't want to sweat through the video. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a couple of concealers that I do use after I apply my Benefit Erase Paste corrector. So I normally go for, like, I'm gonna go from the best concealer to the least concealer that I use. I use my Pro Longwear concealer by MAC, and this one is in the shade NC20. I've had this for about a year now and it's almost done. I mean, it looks like it's not done, but sometimes I have to shake it because it's not kind of pumping out the way it is supposed to be. So I use that one and it really covers up real great. I did use MAC Pro Longwear on this side, so it did cover up really, really good and it's really great coverage. So I use that one. That one's my best concealer if I just want to go out and I want my concealer to last all night or all day, and it doesn't crease as bad. So that's the great thing about MAC Pro Longwear concealer. My second favorite is the Maybelline Master Concealer in the shade Light Medium, and this is how it looks. I use this one often if I want to just go out, like run errands, or if I'm filming that day and it's not a close-up as like a makeup tutorial, then I'll just apply this one. This one is really great. They do have different shades, so I am gonna get the light one because this one is like my foundation shade. Is like the same shade as my foundation, so it just kind of blends in all together. It's not a highlight, it's not anything that's really, really bright. So I use this one if I just want to go out or film. Last but not least, this one has to be, out of the whole three that I like but it's my least favorite, would have to be the Urban Decay 24/7 Pencil Concealer in the shade Dia. Now the thing about this is it's really creamy, and my under eyes are not great with creamy concealers. Like, I really have to set my under eyes because I do have these little bags under my eyes, and it's natural because I have big eyes, so it's naturally like that. Some people, they can get away with it and don't have creasing, so, and it looks really flat and flawless. But in my situation, I do kind of put eyeshadow under right here, like where the bag is at, so that you don't have to really see it. It kind of just, I don't know how to explain it, it just kind of camouflages the bag that I have under there. But the thing is that this creases a lot, and I do like it. It's pretty light for me, and it just creases. That's the only problem that I have with it, and it depends on the day of how my skin is acting that day. My concealer will work, sometimes it won't work, and that's a big problem. I want to explain something real quick to you guys about setting your under eye concealer. So a lot of people do have problems with creasing, and I'm one of those people that I have a problem with that. And it took me so long to understand what is it that I'm doing wrong, why is it creasing. And as I said before, that I do have bags, so that's something that's a problem for me, that's gonna create more crease lines. To prevent creasing, I usually go for a translucent powder. It's really lightweight, and I really like using the NYC loose face powder. It's smooth skin, and it's really smooth under the eyes. It doesn't crease. It actually makes the concealer stay put. I did hear some great stuff about the Laura Mercier translucent powder, so you might want to check that out as well. And I was looking for it all over Sephora, like actually 3 Sephoras, and 2 of them didn't have a Laura Mercier stand, and one of them, the actual big Sephora, they didn't even have it in stock. I had to wait like maybe the next week to pick it up, but I didn't want to waste my time on that, so I'll just probably order it online just to do that, or just order it over the phone and then just pick it up. So just check that out, guys. So I'm gonna show you guys what's the step on how to cover your dark circle. I'm going to take my round angle brush. It's more like a synthetic brush. It reminds me of Sigma, but this is actually from JustJasmine, and I got this on eBay. It was really cheap. So I'm going to pick up amount of product. You don't have to pick up too much because it does pick up a lot of product. So I'm just gonna brush it on under my under eyes, just like this. And I like to just cover up the area that is really dark right there. As you can see, I covered that up right there, and I kind of just blend it really softly under the eye because I don't want to smear this all over the under eye. I don't need it everywhere, just the main area that is really dark and pigmented. And I like to blend that with my finger. I like to blend the outer corners so that I can just blend into the skin really nicely. Okay, right there. I really love this stuff. Like, this is like the best under eye corrector that I've tried. I've heard good things about Bobbi Brown. I've been wanting to try this corrector for so long, and I don't know why it took me so long to just pick it up and try it. And I heard really good things about it. Some people said it was really bad because it creases, but like I said in the past, like, you can just set it with a translucent and you'll be fine. Okay, so you can see the difference. Like, you saw how dark my under eyes were. It was really pigmented and dark, and now that I corrected it with this erase paste, it really works. So, and this is not the only thing that you have to try out. Like, there's different palettes out there, especially affordable palettes that do have color correcting concealers. So you can try and check that out. Go Google it. There's so many to choose from, believe me. I have a lot of them, but this one is my favorite. After correcting, I'm going to go in with MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little dot. I don't even need a lot. Well, that is a lot for me right there, but this is it. It's so hard to squeeze this tube. Like, the pump of it is so hard to squeeze out because it just squeezes every product, and it frustrates me. So I'm going to dab that under the eye, and I don't even need a lot because when you apply too much product, it just becomes cakey, and you don't want that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use my round synthetic brush from JustJasmine, and I'm just going to blend that out. And when you apply concealer, you want to make sure you start off from the bottom and work your way up. I like to drag my concealer on my outer corner because I do like that highlight, and it does bring out my cheekbones. I'm going to set my under eye concealer with the translucent powder, and I like to go in with my Morphe big fluffy brush, and it's really soft. So you want to go over it one more time, look up and pat it, make sure you don't have any crease lines, and you want to just go over it and get rid of any harsh edges. I take this amount and then I just pat right under the eye. Now that I finished setting my under eye, I want to let that sit for about a minute because sometimes the concealer is still not setting properly. So you want to just make sure that it's setting in really nicely, and you don't want to move it around and just be rushing your under eye concealer. So you want to let that sit for about a minute or two. If I want to give my under eye some color and really cover up that dark circle after applying all of that, sometimes some people say that their under eye circles, like the dark circles, it actually peeks through sometimes if they don't cover up really good. So what I recommend is applying an eyeshadow that's like a shade lighter than your skin tone, so that it can just give it a highlight shade and cover up that. So this one, actually, I'm gonna tell you the name right now because I actually like using this one. I'm gonna show you the eyeshadow name because I can't pronounce that. So this is it. That is basically it, guys. That is how I cover up my dark circles. It's really a pain to have dark pigmentation under your eyes, and if you don't have dark pigmentation under your eyes, then you are so lucky. Like seriously, I see people do videos and they are like flawless, like they don't have no dark pigmentation, no dark spots, nothing, and those are the people that are lucky. I'm not ashamed of mine. It is a pain to cover them up every day, even if I just want to go out, and sometimes I do wear sunglasses so that I don't have to put on makeup, but I don't want to show my bare face. But I'm not ashamed of it. It's something that I have to live with, and I am trying different things to reduce that dark pigmentation, and it was really bad before then, but now I feel like they're getting better, I guess. So that's the best way I can put it. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you a lot. If you try the erase page, let me know how you like it. If you don't like it, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything positive about this. If you don't like it, tell me why if you don't like it. Thank you for tuning in on my Makeup 101 on how to cover up my dark circles, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.